It was year 1970. Tata Group wanted a bank financial guarantee in favor of a German bank for taking over a sick Malaysian company. But local banks refused to give financial guarantee to Tata. Can you believe that? Can it happen to the leading customer like Tata? Did they finally take over the Malaysian company? This is a chilling real story, lesser known to many. The second story is even more tantalizing about corporate governance. Tata always believed doing right things instead of doing things right. It's not a cliche. It is not playing on words. What does it mean? And how it was imbibed by Ratan Tata also. You need to watch the second story without putting. In this episode, that is what we are going to see, an unheard episodes in the Tata's history. Please watch till the end to know why they wanted financial guarantee, how did they manage to take over the Malaysian company, and what is the right thing they did. Please subscribe the channel for more such corporate stories. I am going to tell you two stories, real stories for the corporate governance. What we need to learn from Tata. Well, I am only relaying the stories as told by Arun Meira in Economic Times. Arun Meira is a management consultant and former member of Planning Commission of India. He was also a former chairman of Boston Consulting Group, India. Arun Meira was part of Tata Administrative Services for 25 long years and held various positions in Tata Group until 1989. Okay, first story first. Let me tell you a story. In 1977, an international bank had given a loan to a Malaysian industry in which Telco was the technical collaborator and minority investor. The international bank decided to recall their loan because it was unhappy with the Malaysian company's performance and governance. But the bank agreed to stay their recall action only if Telco would take over the management of the Malaysian company and guarantee the outstanding loan. Sumant Gawokar, the chairman of Telco, was distressed at the state of affairs and agreed to take over the management of the company. But the German banker also insisted on the financial guarantee from the bankers of Telco. But in 1970s, Indian companies were forbidden to remit money abroad or give bank guarantee abroad. Left with no choice, Tata's Mool Gawokar wrote a simple one-page letter in which he said that Telco would do whatever was required and that could be done within the laws of the two countries to ensure that the company would make a profit even less time than the bankers expected and that their loan would be repaid to the German bank. But the German bank was not pleased. They wanted a legally binding financial guarantee. Nevertheless, they took the letter to Deutsche Bank in Germany and asked for an opinion. Incidentally, Deutsche Bank was Telco's bankers through its formative years when Telco was in a joint venture with Daimler-Benz. The Deutsche Bank said a letter of assurance on the Tata letterhead signed by the chairman of the company was far better than any banker's guarantee. The other bank agreed and the deal was done. That is the reputation of Tata in Germany. Look at the credit score and worthiness of Tata, earned through their credentials. You might wonder what is so great reputation or credentials of Tata. We will see in the next story and keep watching till the end. In the meanwhile, as a testament to Sumant Mool Gawankar's outstanding contributions, Tata Motors took an extraordinary step to recognize his work at Telco. In a fitting tribute, the company named their multi-purpose vehicle after him, the Tata Sumo. Tata Sumo is the biggest corporate tribute paid by any company to its executive. Su stands for Sumant and Mo stands for Mool Gawanka in this brand name. Now we will see the another story which is unheard of in corporate history as narrated by Arun Meira in a thoughtful article that he wrote for the Economic Times in 2005. Thank you, Mr. Meira, for this wonderful piece. The story goes like this. In 1946 or thereabouts, directors of Cross Maffei, the German company, had waited at the devastated Munich railway station for the arrival of two Indians, J.R.D. Tata and Sumant Mool Gawankar. Unfortunately, they were not in a position to sign any joint venture with the Tata because the German company now stood devastated by the World War since their factories had been destroyed by the Allied forces. The Allies had destroyed Cross-Maffei factories. The Germans requested the Indians to take some engineers of Cross-Maffei and their families to India and give them work and shelter. They are very skilled people. They will do whatever you ask them if you take care of them. They can also train your people. It was a blessing in disguise for Tatas because at that time Indians were forbidden by the Allies to have any contracts with the Germans. So the Tatas gave their word that the engineers and their families would be well looked after. Those German engineers were brought to India who helped the Tata Locomotive and Engineering Company, as it was known at its beginning, to produce steam locomotives and road rollers, the company's first products. Years later, when India was independent and the company moved on to produce trucks in collaboration with the Daimler-Benz, changing its name to Tata Engineering and Locomotive Company, Telco. After a while, the board of Cross-Maffei were startled to receive a letter from Tatas with thanks for the services of the engineers and an offer of compensation for the skills transferred earlier. They had never expected this because there was no legal contract, no written agreement. Moreover, German company was feeling Tata only obliged by giving employment to their best engineers in India all along. In fact, they felt indebted to Tata for their human gesture. However, what seemed to have motivated Tatas was that it was the right thing to do. What a great gesture! What a great gesture! What a corporate value! Perhaps instances such as these would have given Deutsche Bank the confidence they had in the word of Tatas, which they conveyed to the Malaysian banker in the first story. Now, what is the doing things right and doing the right thing? We have been tired of listening, doing it right in the corporate world. Whatever you do, I repeat, whatever you do, you need to do it right. Do it in proper manner. But Tata does not mean that. They don't even mean you can do whatever. They mean to do the right things only and not the other things. It can be extrapolated to mean to do only ethical, moral, virtuous, noble, legitimate and whatnot. I am breathless at Tata's corporate governance. Cultures are shaped by the unwritten rules that guide people, which they learn from the stories they are told and the heroes they admire. In his book Happiness, Richard of London School of Economics writes, our values can change. True, in the last 40 years, we have become increasingly individualistic world over. We are ever more influenced by exaggerated versions of the survival of the fittest, Charles Darwin, and the invisible hand, Adam Smith. A result has been the well-documented decline in trust. Business corporations were mistrusted for being in it for themselves and their shareholders only. Loss of trust in institutions was a global trend. The Edelman Trust Barometer reported that governments and business corporations were among the least trusted institutions everywhere. Therefore, the more we honor those who do the right thing, even if it is not the law, and the less we admire the rich and successful who promote their own selfish interest, often living dangerously at the edge of a law, the stronger will be the culture of trust in our business and society. Unfortunately, we seem to be veering too far towards a culture of self-interest and greed. Therefore, while we may complain about their cost and complexity, our corporate managers may have to be restrained by more onerous corporate governance dictated by hearts and hands, and do the right thing always. Thanks for watching till the end and picking the moral of the high standards in corporates.